Welcome back to another video. My name is Bosh Braden, and today I'm joined with Visionary Vaughn. Nice. And Heartbreakmier.
That's good, chat.
And today we're going to be talking about the current WWE Champions and who will dethrone them. Before we get into that, I just want to ask you what do y'all think about WrestleMania weekend? And we're also a week past that, so the Friday night SmackDown following as well. Vaughn, we'll start with you.
I think they done a great job bringing Rusev and Aleister Black back. And I was excited to see Zelina Vega win the Women's United States Championship, as well deserved. But WrestleMania weekend, I think overall the show was pretty good. Pretty predictable outcomes, but uh, other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. And I do have to disagree with you. You like the way Rusev came back. I was a fan of the way Aleister Black came back, but just Rusev, I don't know how all that ties in together the way that he was brought back. But also, like you said, it was a predictable show, but predictability is not always a bad thing. And I was a fan of the outcomes of most of the matches.
Yeah.
Mir, what do you think about the week that we've seen since Mania?
Uh, WrestleMania was low key. It was alright for me. We had some decent title changes. We had some decent matches. Triple threats were awesome. And from the start of night one WrestleMania, with Jay winning finally, and then to the end, Cena winning. That Cena match was iffy. I don't know how Travis Scott has a big part in this, coming out to Fiend or whatever he came out to. That match was just not it for me, but I'm glad Cena got 17 and passed the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
But yeah, I mean, to your credit, Mir, we saw some great wrestling. Even outside of Mania, we had the Battle Royal. That was a fantastic finish to that. We had the triple threat in NXT, the ladder match in NXT, a ladder match on the most recent SmackDown, which, in my opinion, should have been a Mania match.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
definitely should have been on there.
So just great wrestling all around. And I was there, so I mean, I witnessed some of the great wrestling of my life in person, which was pretty cool. If y'all don't have anything else to say about the week past, we'll go ahead and jump into it. Starting off with Liv and Raquel, they lost the titles originally to Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, who only held the belt for a day and lost it right back to Liv and Raquel, who currently hold the titles. We were discussing earlier, we're not huge fans of what they're doing with the tag division right now for the women. It's kind of sloppy. They're just throwing single stars into it and hoping it works. So, in my opinion, I don't see what they're gonna do with it. I'm not really sure. I'm not really too excited for it either. Vaughn, I'll start with you. Who do you think? Who do you think will come out and defeat Liv and Raquel for these titles?
Um, we talked about this beforehand, but I think it'd have to be a returning Oscar and Kairi Sane. I think they're the only like tag team that's capable of doing it and that's not thrown together. They've been together for years, so I think they would be the team to finally beat Liv and Raquel and take it away from her.
Yeah, I mean that's a good take. I don't think I've heard that one yet. I think that's definitely plausible, and I think that if any team's gonna do it, I think that team specifically can put the division on their back and
Yeah.
and bring it back per se. What do you think, Mir? Who do you think will take the titles off of them?
I like Vaughn's pick. That's a safe pick because Oscar and Kyrie, they've been there before. They're veterans, and they can definitely carry that division on their backs. But I'm gonna throw a wild card in there. I'm gonna go to KC's Katana Chance and Caden Carter. We haven't seen them that much on TV as of late, but I think the returning KC's can put some championships on lock.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a solid tag team and a solid pick there. I could see either of them. I could see either of those teams take it. So moving past that into the men's division, a
Wait,
little
wait,
bit.
who's your pick?
I
Yeah,
don't
what's yours?
listen. I have absolutely no clue. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, and I really, to be honest, I think they should throw it away. Maybe put the belts into NXT or something. Like I think it needs to move away from the main roster. Um, but I mean, like I said, I think either of y'all's two picks could definitely
Also,
be an option.
also another thing that another team that I think could beat them. I think they're forming them as we seen on Friday. It was Nia Jackson, Naomi. You know they're in the Bloodline family, so I think they was throwing some out there like they're gonna eventually be a team or something, and I could see them beating them too.
Okay, that's definitely a sizzling take right there. That's pretty hot. Um, they are not blood related, but they are part of that bloodline
Yeah.
saga, whatever. So definitely a hot take there. So now we got the Street Profits, definitely a better division. A division that should have been on Mania, but wasn't. We've got the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Champions. We'll start with you this time, Mir. Who's taking it from them?
I've been waiting to answer this for weeks now. You at SmackDown, man. I think they can beat the Street Profits.
Say it one more time.
Axiom. I got Axiom.
Okay. Okay.
Fraxium, I mean Fraxium.
Yeah, we got you. Um,
That's not a
so
bad pick.
yeah, I don't want to take your spotlight, Vaughn, but on my notes here, I've got the exact same thing. Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I think they're definitely on the uprise, especially after that match showcased on the latest SmackDown. I think they could definitely be the ones to take it. This tag division, unlike the other two, is super hot right now. They've got a lot going for them. They've got matches booked for months. So I'm excited for it. I definitely think Fraxium could be the ones to dethrone the Street Profits. Vaughn, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna have to agree with y'all. Like you said, Friday, the match that they put on, like, and the way they look in the ring is so like, bro, it's beautiful, bro. Like, I think they would be the only team that could actually pull it off because we've already seen Motor City Machine Guns, um, DIY, and then also Pretty Deadly. Like they haven't been in it in a while, but for some reason I would actually like to see them win it just at least once.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But I'm gonna go with the same pick as y'all.
Yeah, before Mania, I definitely thought Pretty Deadly was gonna be thrown into the mix. I'm kind of disappointed that they weren't in the ladder match. I think that would have been a little bit more exciting. The ladder match, nonetheless, was still a very good match. I just think Pretty Deadly could have elevated a little bit more. I'm still gonna stick with Fraxium, especially after what I saw past Friday, and I think we're all in agreement there. Moving to Monday Night
Oh,
Raw, we've got.
also
Oh, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I want to say I just want to give Triple H a shout out just because who the tag team champions are. I mean, if you know, you know what I'm saying.
I got you. Okay. Shout out Papa H right there. Let him cook. Now for the World Tag Team Champions, we've got the New Day. Again, this division sucks. I don't know what else to say. Um, I sat here trying to figure out who I was gonna pick, and I just couldn't think of anybody like really deserving. So I put Otis and Tozawa. I mean, who do you put? You know what I'm saying? It's not
No,
much. It's not much to pick from. So
honestly,
that's who I have. It's
honestly, like,
definitely not what everybody else was thinking. Vaughn, we'll go to you this time. Who do you think takes it from the New Day?
oh man, I don't even know the tag teams on Raw, but I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's just
That's
such
the only
a
team that I know.
it's just such a sorry division. They don't get as nearly as much screen time as the other
Yeah,
SmackDown counterpart. So
because
it's definitely
we
a
got
hard
we
one
got
to to go
We
through.
got the New Day, the War Raiders, Otis and Tozawa. Is that it?
Um, no, you got a couple more. I just can't think of the names. But I mean,
Okay, but honestly,
but
I'm
like,
just gonna agree with you.
yeah, I mean, there's the screen time that they get really isn't worth sitting here
Yeah,
thinking who's gonna win it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
It's I don't understand why it's so different from Raw and SmackDown though. Like maybe they should bring up some NXT tag teams and bring them to Raw to help out a little bit, but other than that, I got Otis and Tozawa winning it too.
yeah, for sure. And unfortunately, that was a WrestleMania match. I wasn't disappointed by the match. I was more disappointed by the build. I think the SmackDown tag titles should have been on Mania instead. But that's what you get. You got a 3 hour card for SmackDown, so I guess they're trying to save some for that. Mir, what
Also,
do
I
you
think,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
and let me go ahead, man. Let me say this one last thing then. I thought the reason why they put it on WrestleMania card was I thought Big E was gonna show up.
I think everybody did.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
because it was like it was randomly thrown on there, so I thought it had to be something to it. And I thought Big E was gonna show up.
Yeah, I think everybody did. Sitting in the arena, it was definitely a lot of fans waiting and hoping for Big E. Unfortunately, he never came out, which is understandable. Mir, who you got for the New Day?
I'm looking at my notes to try to find a face tag team because I mean, so stacked with heel tag teams.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
they the Creed brother,
Yeah, they were another one.
A Town Down Under. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad putting the heel tag team to beat the heel New Day, but I'm gonna just go with a face. I'm gonna say LWO.
Okay, okay, I could definitely see it. Um, but like I said, I mean that's just such a hard one to choose when the tag division on Monday Night Raw doesn't get the screen time that SmackDown gets. And it's unfortunate because they're on Netflix. They really have as much time as they need or want. So, moving past that, we'll go into the singles championships. We'll start with the women's mid card, and we've got Zelina Vega, your new women's U.S. champion. She just beat Chelsea Green for it after the Entourage got banned from ringside or kicked out of ringside, whatever you wanna say there. Mira, who do you think takes it from Zelina Vega?
Honest, I think Chelsea Green can get it back. I
Say
think
okay.
Chelsea gonna get it back.
So you think she'll get a rematch and take it off of Zelina?
Yeah,
Do you think Zelina's reign is going to be long, or do you think it's going to be a couple weeks?
she should deserve a long title reign, but I really don't see a long title reign with her. I think it'll last like a couple of months, and then Chelsea will get it back.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with you. I think it's going to be a back and forth between them. I think they're going to be back and forth for quite some time. Maybe throw in a couple other people, triple threats, whatever. But I think this is going to be one of the U.S. Championship's biggest feuds. I think it's actually the first real feud that it's had. So definitely exciting stuff coming up for the U.S. Championship. Vaughn, who do you think takes it from Zelina Vega?
I agree with what y'all said, like the back and forth between Chelsea Green and Selena Vega, but I think they're gonna throw Piper Niven into it, and I think Piper Niven will eventually become the Women's United States Champion, and that will cause the tension between her and Chelsea Green, so they can finally start feuding. And we done our WrestleMania predictions, like the match card predictions a while ago. I said I thought it was gonna be Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, but that didn't happen. That's something that I would have liked to have seen on the show, but
So you think later
we'll
down the
get it
line
soon.
it'll all unravel? I could
Yeah, we
definitely
definitely gonna get it
I
soon.
can definitely see that. I think all three of us are in agreement that Chelsea Green will win it, but I think it will be a back and forth until Piper Niven ultimately collapses the group. Um, so moving, I think that you could throw in a couple of people into that. I think Michin could be thrown into it and make it a proper feud with a lot of those women on the SmackDown roster.
Honestly, another um superstar I'd like to be seen thrown into it would be Nikki Cross.
Okay, I could definitely see that.
We
Do you think Nikki Cross would be in it before Alexa Bliss?
I don't know,
And
but
now that we're unraveling all of these women, what happened to Nikki Bella? Was that
honestly,
just
that's the thing.
was that just a one-off thing, or
I don't know because I think her and Brie are supposed to return for the Evolution pay-per-view,
They signed
and
a
then
contract. So.
yeah, and also I seen something that said Chelsea wanted to fight her at SummerSlam or something, but will that happen?
so? Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot to think about, especially with all the returns we've had, and we've had the return of Nikki, and just nothing has come of it. So I think there's a lot to unravel and think about when it comes to things like that. But there's no telling because you don't know when they're going to be on the card or whatnot. So as of right now, I do think Chelsea Green will win it back and start a actual proper feud with the belt. But moving on to Raw, we've got the Women's Intercontinental Champion and the current champion, Lyra Valkyria, just lost the tag titles with her former tag partner. I guess you could. I mean, there was one night. I don't know if you can call them a tag partner or a tag team. But Becky Lynch turned on her, beat her up in the middle of the ring, and so I think properly, Lyra Valkyria will lose the belt to Becky Lynch. Vaughn, we'll let you give a little more insight on that. Who do you think Lyra Valkyria will drop it to?
I got the same thing. I knew that it was going to be Becky replacing Bailey just because, and
It just made too much sense.
yeah,
I did not think they would win it. And then when they did win it, I didn't think it would only last for a day.
my prediction for who's gonna dethrone Lyra Valkyria is Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Dupree. That is
Yeah.
that's earth shattering right there. That's earth shattering. Why do you think Maxine Dupree will dethrone Lyra Valkyria?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't think she will, but my pick is really Becky Lynch. But it would be like awesome to see that though, because they haven't gave her like a real feud with anybody yet.
Yeah,
So,
she's
and
kind of
we see when she actually came out there, what was it, Monday? She seemed like she got some mic skills too.
yeah, she definitely
That
did.
that surprised me a lot.
Like past, she's kind of been just like the dumb blonde, for lack of
Yeah.
better words. She kind of walks around and does and says as she's told. But I think that definitely
But
would be a great twist if she could come out and beat somebody like Lyra Valkyria, or maybe defeat Becky Lynch. It would definitely put some stripes on her arm. Um, that's a hot take. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. Damir, what are you thinking?
At first, I was gonna say Bailey, since she got spot taken from a returning Becky Lynch, and they was gonna play into that. But since Becky Lynch turned on Lyra, I just gotta keep it simple and say Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest one to say. They're definitely going to keep that feud going for quite some time, if I had to guess. So yeah, I definitely think Becky Lynch is going to be the one to dethrone her. So moving to the Men's United States Championship, we've got the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu, who just defeated LA Knight at WrestleMania. This one could go a lot of ways. We've got Drew McIntyre in the mix. We've got LA Knight in the mix. Some would even say we have Solo Sikoa in the mix. So Mir, where do you take this?
Solo's an interesting one because Jacob, he's a fan favorite now, and Solo's kind of getting pushing the background. But I'm a shift, and I'm gonna say the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I could definitely see it. I don't know if they'd give Drew McIntyre a mid card belt. I think Drew McIntyre definitely needs to be in the main event, but the fact that he's in the story, I definitely think that's a possibility. Vaughn, where are you taking it?
I was going to say the same thing that you said. I don't think Drew would get it just because he's more than a mid Carter. So for him to go from world champion to a mid card title, it don't make sense to me really. But I mean, yeah, well, uh, I'm gonna go with Jacob's not losing it. That's what I'm going with.
So you think Jacob
I
Fatu is going to retire
he
with the U.S.
no,
Championship?
no. I'm just saying, like, I think Jacob's gonna hold it for like a while. So
I think Jacob holds it to close to SummerSlam, if not a little past SummerSlam.
For sure.
I think
you
he
think we'll
holds it
have like 2 to 3 months?
2 or 3 months. We've got a little bit more than that. Well, I don't know. I guess it is. It's about to be May, but I don't know. I think Solo Sikoa turns his back on him and either costs him the belt or defeats him for the belt. I think more than
Okay,
likely it's going to be costing him the belt.
okay, that makes sense. Other than that, if he doesn't cost him the title, he's not losing it. No time soon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely think that his reign could be long, but I think his projection is much farther than the U.S.
Yeah,
Championship.
it definitely is.
I think Jacob Fatu could potentially be the one that dethrones Jey Uso. There's a lot of potentials for Jacob Fatu. His in ring abilities and I would argue his mic work is next to none. Dude's fantastic no matter what he's doing. I mean, he's off the top rope. He's being a powerhouse. He's literally doing everything. So I think Solo Sikoa turns on him. And I think LA Knight gets the U.S. Championship back from Jacob Fatu. Cool with that.
Okay, cool with that.
We'll stay in the mid card. We'll move on to Dirty Dom. Dominic Mysterio is your men's Intercontinental Champion. Crazy atmosphere at WrestleMania. He comes out, everybody's booing him. And then he leaves and everybody's cheering him on. I think a lot of people, I don't know, I think a lot of people predicted him winning it just because Finn Balor was in the mix. And sure enough, he came out with it. And the finish was top tier. So great match there. Vaughn, who do you think takes it from Dominic Mysterio?
We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna start with you first.
Oh, you're going to start with me?
Yeah, we're gonna start with you first.
I mean, I think it's pretty basic. I think Dom holds it, maybe not too long, but I think that Finn Balor eventually gets in the mix and gets his belt back. But I don't think it starts a feud immediately. I think that Finn Balor holds on to it, and it's kind of like, hey, as long as it's with us, right? It's as long as it's with the family, that's what's best. And I think eventually it does start a feud between them, but. I think Finn Balor is going to be the one to dethrone Dominic Mysterio.
I don't want Dom to lose it, honestly. But I mean, he can't hold it forever. So
he could hold it forever. John Cena's John Cena's planning on holding the undisputed title forever, so he could hold it forever.
Dom is the greatest Mysterio of all time. Let's not get it twisted.
Yes, he is. Finn Balor's the obvious pick, but that's just too plain and basic. I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say Sheamus.
I think that's definitely a name nobody's really thinking of as of now. I think 2 months ago, I think everybody's name was on Sheamus. he's kind of fall. We haven't really heard from him since maybe the Rumble. It's been quite some time since we've heard the name Sheamus. I like that pick though. That's definitely a interesting one. I don't think I've heard anybody else have that for Dominic.
I think the person to dethrone Dirty Dom is none other than Adam Pearce. Okay.
Adam Pearce.
All right, now, Roto.
What a change up that is.
Honestly, I think it'd be. I would like to see Ray do it. I want to see them have another feud against each other before Ray retires. But I'm gonna have to go with somebody we haven't seen in a while because they're out with an injury. I'm going with Big Bronson Reed.
Big Bronson Reed to dethrone Dominic Mysterio. That's Bronson Reed's coming off a pretty hefty injury. You think he's gonna come back with that kind of superstardom to immediately get a championship match?
I think so because I think he was in line for that.
He definitely was.
getting-
He definitely was in line for it. But he's been out of action for so long. Nobody's really talking about him.
That's the thing, though. Why would you if he's out?
He was pretty big on like social media for a while. But I think he's kind of fallen off. I haven't really heard much from him. So it'd be interesting to see when he does come back, and if he does, is he thrown back into the championship lineup? I don't know if he defeats Dominic. He might, but I think they're gonna go with Finn Balor just for that feud. Maybe Finn Balor calls Dominic and it goes somewhere else, and they continue that feud. I don't know.
All right, but I have another pick that I like also though.
I do too. I'm gonna let Vaughn go.
All right, I think my other choice would be Karrion Kross.
Okay, that's a pretty big one there. Karrion, he took a while to get him over, but he's definitely over with the fans now.
But I think they need to do something with him. Like I remember when he first moved up, everybody was saying that he could possibly beat Roman Reigns when he was undisputed champion, but that didn't happen. He had like a lot of hype behind him, and then he just fell off. But I think now he's working his way back up to the top. So
For sure.
I like him to dethrone Dominic.
For sure. Mir, who's your second pick?
That was a great pick. Karrion deserves better. I'm all here for it. That little rant, the little promo he had when he bashed like CEO, that was well deserved, much needed, and now the crowd's behind him. But I'm gonna go with another injured superstar. I'm gonna go Ilya Dragunov.
Ooh,
I'm not gonna lie, I was just thinking about him.
that's definitely a good pick there. He's been out for quite some time now as well. So definitely some lookout for Dominic, because there's definitely a lot of names that could be put into that mix up. So moving on to the main event, we're gonna go into the women's WWE Champion Tiffany Stratton. I think this could go a lot of ways. We just had Nia Jax come out, Naomi come out, Jade Cargill came out. Charlotte Flair, I'm sure she'll ask for a rematch or something at some point. So it's a lot of names to be thrown out for Tiffany Stratton. But if you go my way, I think a storm is coming. I think Jade Cargill is going to be the one to dethrone Tiffany Stratton. What insight can you give us on that, Vaughn?
That's a great pick. I could definitely see that happening, but another name that I like is Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
I think I don't know what they're doing with her, but she needs to be pushed back into that main event spot where she was at. Like, I think she's I don't know. She deserves another title run. I think.
Do you think she'll be with the Wyatt Six?
Yes, I do.
And if that's the
I think
case, and they do it that way, that would be a pretty banger feud with the Wyatt Six and Tiffany Stratton. Um, I'm totally down for that if that's the route that they go. Mir, we got Tiffany Stratton, the women's champion. What you got?
I just don't like putting faces against faces and heels against heels. But I mean, since Tiffy's a face, I just want to throw Jade out there. I know she's a face too, but I think she can beat Tiffy. And then Alexa Bliss will carry that feud with Jade instead of Tiffy.
That'd definitely be pretty interesting. Is Tiffany Stratton a face? I'd argue she's a tweener.
yeah, I think she's a
I think it depends on who she's feuding with, if she's a face or a heel. But yeah, definitely that. I think Jade Cargill should be the number one pick for that. She definitely had an exciting match with Naomi. I think Naomi could be a front runner for it as well, with her character work and her development that she's gone through over the past couple months. So definitely exciting stuff for Tiffany Stratton. Y'all got anything else to add for her?
No, that's it.
It's Tiffy time.
It's always Tiffy time. I wake up and it's Tiffy time. I go to sleep, it's Tiffy time. Keeping it in the women's division, we've got Io Sky. This is probably the most disappointing main event championship that there is. I'm not sure who else they could throw into it. The only other woman on Raw that I think could get it is Rhea Ripley. And do they go back to Rhea Ripley? I'm not so sure. I don't really want it. But I mean, who else do they have to throw Io Sky's away?
I'd say unless they run it back with Bailey.
They could do that. They definitely could do that. But is Bailey going through something? Why would they? I just don't know what's going on with Bailey, because why would they take her out of WrestleMania?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just for storyline purposes of getting Becky and Lara to.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, obviously supposed to be Rhea Ripley, but I think I'm gonna go with Bailey.
Okay, for sure. Mirror, who you got for Io Sky?
I just seen this report. Bianca just injured some of her fingers at WrestleMania, so that was my pick. I mean, could she still do it? She's the EST, so I'm gonna say Bianca. I'm gonna say Bianca.
Yeah, she broke a few fingers following Mania. I'm not sure how long that takes you out for. I mean, I guess if you tape it up good enough, you ought to be good to go, right? Especially if you're the EST, the strongest, the fastest, the whatever else she is.
I don't think it worked like that.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Bianca Belair is gonna be one to take it. She definitely could be, depending on how long she's out. But I think the route that they're gonna go is gonna be Rhea Ripley. Unfortunately, nothing against Rhea. It's just it's kind of boring seeing her lose it, get it, lose it, get it. You know what I mean?
I think it's time for them to. Well, I think it's time for them to start bringing up some NXT superstars for the men's and the women's.
It's just so tough for the Raw women's side. I mean, it's just you got Rhea, which is a big name. Liv, she's tag team champion, so I mean, you can have her as double champ. But I mean, it's just recycle and repeat over there on Raw.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about having the additional two mid-card titles. You're throwing women that could be in that main event scene into the mid-card, which I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. It's just for the amount of women we have in the main event right now, it's not looking too bright. I will go into that, Vaughn, more on what you said about moving people up into the from NXT into the main roster, because we're going into Jey Uso, and he is the men's world heavyweight champion. And originally I was thinking, maybe Seth, Braun, they've got that going on for them. But I'm gonna go with who nobody else is thinking of. I think Jey Uso holds this for quite some time.
Yeah.
I think ultimately he loses it to a moved up Oba Femi. You alright over there, Mir?
I'm good. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Oh, I thought you was hating on me for a minute there.
I like it. I like it.
What do you think? What do you think, Mir? I don't know. I think Obafemi is just such a powerhouse. I think he can move up and automatically be in that main event scene. It's a long shot. It definitely is a long shot. We're nowhere close to that right now. But I definitely think that if they do decide to move Obafemi up anytime soon, I think he could be the one that dethrones Jey Uso. Who do y'all have to dethrone Jey?
I like Oba. I like an NXT call up. Jay's gonna hold this belt for quite some time. It's a Yeet train, the Yeet movement, so we can respect that. But it's right there in front of our eyes. Sami Zayn, for sure, he's gonna turn on Jay and then start that feud. We hate to see it, but I'm here for it. Sami.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I could definitely see Sammy. I think they will fight eventually. I don't know that he'll be the one to dethrone Jay. I think it's gonna be hard to dethrone Jay with the Yeet movement. I think WWE's making way too much money off of that to just throw it away anytime soon. So I think it's gonna be a long reign. And it's definitely a lot of faces that could be thrown into there. So, Vaughn, who do you got?
Mira, I like your pick, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you because I just feel like Sammy is the only one. Like, Sammy has been real loyal to Jay from the very beginning. Jay did not like him one bit, and Sammy worked his hardest to get Jay to like him, and Jay finally took him in. So I think Sammy's gonna stay real to Jay, and I don't think he's gonna turn on him or anything. But I think the obvious choice would be to go with I think Braun Breaker. I think uh, with him being a Paul Heyman guy now, it just it moves him up so much because when Paul Heyman comes, championships come with it. Like no matter who you are. And I think Seth's already had his time with it, so I think Braun Breaker would be the one to take it from Jay eventually.
Yeah, for sure. That was my original pick. Um, I don't know how they're gonna do it. I mean, I think Seth is still that main event guy, unless both of them get a main event title. Unless Seth holds the undisputed and Braun holds the world heavyweight, which is definitely a possibility. When you're talking about the manpower that you've got behind Seth, behind Paul, behind Braun, so it's definitely I don't know that could be a powerhouse of a team there. I'll throw another one out there for you. It's kind of a long shot, not quite as a long shot as Obafemi. What about Jacob Fatu? Maybe he loses that U.S. title and goes straight to the main event scene to dethrone his cousin Jey Uso.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that though, because you remember it was a while ago they had a little interaction on SmackDown, I think it was, and Jacob told Jay that he would not be the one to bring a title back to their family. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe I remember the episode you're talking
So
about.
that I like that pick though.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it could happen. I'm sure a lot of people miss the Bloodline storyline. It's not much going on with it now. You got Roman by himself. You've got Solo and Jacob, and then you've got Jay and Jimmy doing their own thing. So not much Bloodline going on, and I'm sure a lot of people miss it. And I think that that could re-spark some people's interest in that.
You know what? I don't know why I just thought about this, but for the tag titles on Raw, the New Day.
Going all the way back to the New
I
Day. That was
Yeah,
like
I have to
40 minutes ago.
because what I seen on Raw is you had Jimmy and Sammy come out to celebrate with Jay. Okay, so hear me out, right? So if y'all remember in the Hall of Fame speech Roman gave about Paul Heyman, Roman mentioned he said, "I'm not a wise man yet." Okay, so I think you could start bringing Jay up as the tribal chief because Roman already said once he's grooming Jay and to be that the tribal chief. So I think that plus you bring in Jimmy as twin brother and Sammy the honorary Uce. I think they can form a tag team together, and I think they could be the WWE uh, tag team champions.
I definitely think you're onto something. But I don't think that happens quite yet. I think that happens later down the road when Roman's out of WWE. I just can't see a world where Roman still exists and there be another tribal chief. But it definitely could happen. I just don't think it would be as effective as if Roman is still an active member of the roster. But definitely a cool theory to think about. Anything else you want to add, Mir?
No, that was. I like that take, Vaughn. Very interesting.
Yeah, definitely something to think about. Something else. Say it again.
We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure. So something else to think about. We've got John Cena, the men's undisputed champion, the one to dethrone the American Nightmare. And I'm over here grinning. I don't know if y'all can see me or not, but I'm over here
No,
grinning
we can't.
ear to ear because this is my dream. There's no more Cody crybabies. Well, I guess they're still around, but their voices aren't heard. John Cena's a 17-time champion. Mir's in the back crying.
No, I ain't crying. I'm thinking who's gonna
He's
beat.
thinking. It's a lot going
I'm,
on
I'm
with John Cena as well. It doesn't matter who goes first. I think I'll pick it up though. You've got Orton going to Backlash. I'm not sure that he takes it. I don't think he takes it in his hometown. I think it's too soon. I think that John Cena holds it kind of close to his retirement, to his last day. He's 26 appearances left, something like that. So I think it's gonna be close to that last or second to last appearance. I'm just gonna throw a few names out there. I'm not sure who I want yet, but you've got Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton's definitely a possibility. Get his 15th, 16th.
15, I think.
I believe it is 15th. Maybe Cody Rhodes comes back, gets his rematch. Not sure how that would play out. Definitely not something I want. I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. Big advocate for anything other than Cody Rhodes. But definitely big names that could be thrown out there for John Cena. Mir, we'll start with you for this one. Who do you think could dethrone John Cena, or do you think John Cena retires with it?
I mean, it's so tough. We all love Cena. I mean, Punk's another name. Randy, as we said. But I'm gonna throw a curveball out there. I'm gonna say the Andre Memorial Battle Royal winner, Carmelo Hayes.
What? That is spicy. How that might be the hottest one of the night. Carmelo Hayes to be the undisputed champion. I don't hate it. I know Vaughn does. I don't hate it. That's that would definitely be that would be a sight to see.
Hear me out.
You might have fans storming the arena.
Hear me out. Let it all play out. Cena's gonna hold on to his championship until probably when he close to retire, and then I would hate to see him lose it to like one of these older guys. It doesn't do nothing. it just, just rinse and repeat. So why not bring a younger athlete to carry that division and then just play it out?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I'm tired of seeing all the old people. Um, John Cena obviously can't go like he used to, so he needs somebody a little bit younger that can go and do some of those crazy stunts and moves that the older guys can't. Vaughn, where are you sitting at right now? Who do you think dethrones John Cena?
Oh man, this is probably the toughest one. Um,
It's definitely a hard one.
like I said, I do think Cena will hold it till he's like right at retiring. So, uh, let's see.
Just throwing out a couple more names that could potentially dethrone him. Maybe Travis Scott. Maybe Travis Scott.
It's no way.
Maybe
Oh, this
Travis
guy's
Scott
serious.
dethrones him. You got The Rock. Maybe The Rock comes back and dethrones him. The people's champion. Um, I don't know. I'll throw out my theory while you're thinking, Vaughn. I think nobody dethrones him, and I think John Cena retires with the belt. Because like he said on SmackDown, if he does that, then everybody's counter is back at one. I think it'll be no
Yeah.
more. I think it'll be no more chasing greatness. It'll be greatness to be built. Um, it was always before the 17. It was 16, and before that was 15. So everybody had to build their own legacy. I think they're going to restart. I think they're going to start fresh, start with something new. I think it makes a lot of sense in my head. I think a lot of people are sitting there thinking, "Who's going to get it? Who's gonna take it away from him before he does it?" I don't think anybody does it. I think he walks out of the arena with the championship around his waist. So who you sitting at now, Vaughn?
Man, honestly, I think I agree with you. I don't really, I don't know. I think with him keeping it, and like you said, retiring with it, it makes it so much more interesting to see what's going to happen next. Um, mm,
I think it. I
but
think.
if I,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I think it's just too much. I think too many people are looking at who's gonna take it. What if nobody does? Right? I think it just.
Yeah,
I think it unravels so much and gets us tangled up in so much more. So I think it could definitely be an interesting story swerve to the WWE. Everybody starts back at numero uno, right? So I think it would be definitely cool to see.
yeah. Like I said, I agree with what you said. I think it'll be very interesting to see if he does retire with it. It makes things more complicated for everybody else, and then it's like everybody has a fair chance now of starting from scratch to become the first new champion or whatever. But if I had to pick somebody to beat him, I think I'm gonna go with CM Punk.
CM Punk. Um, yeah, I mean that name has definitely been thrown around. In my
The
case,
reason why
now go ahead.
I say that is because when CM Punk was threatening to do the same thing, if I'm not mistaken, he was feuding with John Cena,
It
right?
definitely be an interesting counter to it. I just they're both so old in age.
Yeah,
CM Punk can't really go like he used to. John Cena can't really go like he used to. And we've seen that in past matches. But like you said, I mean, it would definitely be a great swerve.
Can I give you another wild card?
Go ahead, give me something.
And the person I think that could possibly dethrone him, like I know a lot of people are not gonna like this pick, but I'm gonna say Logan Paul.
Love.
Uh,
What do you think,
You
Amir?
gotta
Why
look
did
at it.
that break your heart?
Yeah, yeah. Like why? Like why did you? Why did you react like that? Because don't get it twisted, bro. He done came in from the start, and he shows that he got what it take to be a real superstar in this business.
I can see WWE
He,
on that trigger. Do we want it? Absolutely not. But see it. I know the fans absolutely despise him, but I mean, you can't deny that he's a great talent. He got his WrestleMania win against AJ, which is shocking, but I mean, he got the dub, and I mean,
that says a lot, though.
I can see that.
I think, like you said, he defeated AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I think that says a lot of how much they believe in him. And the way we get to that, like I said, with him possibly dethroning John Cena is I think he wins the Money in the Bank, and that's the only way you can get to that. If you don't win Money in the Bank, then I don't think it's a chance in that. But uh, I like that pick.
Yeah, that would definitely. I didn't even think about that. Whoever wins Money in the Bank, that's definitely something to think about. And you know, Paul Levesque, Triple H, he loves Logan Paul. And I do too. I can appreciate his work. I think he's done a great deal in WWE. He skipped the NXT, the developmental, and went straight to the main roster. And he's done some fantastic things in the time he's been here. Logan Paul, be on the lookout for him. He might shock the world. I think the most plausible thing and the most probable thing that's going to happen is I think Cody Rhodes is going to come back and get the belt back. I think Cody Rhodes makes too much money for WWE. But what I want to happen, I want John Cena to retire with the belt, restart our counters back to 1, and everybody build their own legacy to say. Do y'all have anything else to add?
Oh, I had something else.
What was y'all's favorite return so far?
Favorite return
Out of the whole year?
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss.
That's a good one. Depends on if you're asking who returned or how they returned. Because if you say how because like I said with Rusev, I loved Rusev, especially when he was feuding with John Cena. That was one of my favorite feuds of all time. But the way that he returned is like, why did they do it that way?
Squashed Tozawa and Otis. Yeah.
I don't see it. I guess it depends on where they throw him at storyline wise. But the way he came back, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I think they're trying to do it to where how he was first presented as very dominant. So I think that's why they done it with him taking out one of the biggest, I'm gonna say one of the strongest people on the roster.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, is Otis really to be taken serious? I
think so.
I think Otis is kind of
all the worm and all that. I think Otis the truth.
And Braden, I heard you say that you didn't like Aleister Black's return.
No. I said I liked his return. I could appreciate that. It was just Rusev. I don't know why they done it that way.
Got you.
So while we're on the topic though, who do you think Rusev feuds with first?
Oh man.
I think this is just me. I think they took the belt off of Gunther for a reason because I don't think they wanted to put Rusev in that position to begin with.
Honestly, though, I feel like that's too soon. Though I feel like that's a dream match that we want.
I think that's gonna be a SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
I think it's gonna be SummerSlam. You gotta think SummerSlam's 2 nights this year.
No, you are right.
They're gonna go massive on SummerSlam.
Yeah, it probably will be that. I can see that. I think they'll feud for a while because I think they're gonna put on some great matches.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very similar to the John Cena feud, where they're going back and forth, not for the title, obviously, but maybe for their country. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I think whoever they do it with, and however long, whatever they do with it, I think Rusev is going to do absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But Mir,
But overall, like
Mir,
you
who was
said,
your favorite? Who was your favorite return?
Who was mine?
Yeah. Think long and hard.
I mean, I like Bliss. I like Bliss.
I think everybody would probably pick Alexa Bliss.
It was just so fire and nostalgia.
And if I'm not mistaken, before the event, everybody was like, she's not coming back. She hasn't signed a contract, whatever.
yeah.
So it's definitely a cool experience to see that come around. But if y'all don't have anything else to add, we'll conclude it right there. Botch Braden with Visionary Vaughn and Heartbreakmier. We appreciate y'all for watching the video. And yeet.